To weather now, another scorcher outside with lots of smoke from fires around the state, making it even more unpleasant. Although, as Marty noted in our camera shot about 20 minutes ago, some of that appears to be clearing up, and this VR wireless camera from Pueblo County doesn't show it terribly thick in the skies as it was earlier either.
Yeah, thank goodness. We could use a good clearing out. Yep. Maybe some rain too, Marty. Hopefully we can get some this weekend.
Yeah, the rain's going to be a little tough to come by. And I think that the only places you're going to get them are going to be with very spotty storms like the one that we have over the far eastern plains right now. This is the storm we've been talking a lot about that initially produced some brief tornadoes on the other side of the Colorado-Kansas state line. It's been producing some hail and wind as it's drifting across now southern Prowers County, heading into Baca County. It's moving off to the southwest. Severe thunderstorm warning expires on that one at 5:30. We may get another issuance if the storm can reinvigorate a little bit. And we're still watching some of these just to the east of the Baca County line, which also could move back into Colorado. So certainly not out of the woods just yet across the area with some of those storms, at least out in the far eastern plains. The haze, yeah, we can still see it. Some cameras more than others. There's a view from Peak Internet up on top of Gold Hill. Looking north towards Cheeseman Reservoir, and we have an air quality alert in effect for parts of the Pikes Peak region until 10 o'clock tonight for obvious reasons. It doesn't look quite as bad as seen from Abba Eye Care, and you can almost make out some of the clouds, and they're trying to develop a few sprinkles, but it's so dry at the lower levels that whatever's fallen from the sky just evaporates before it hits the ground anyway. FUTURECAST is showing some of these storms continuing to skirt the Colorado-Kansas state line for the next hour or two, and then finally coming to an end. Rest of the night looks partly cloudy to mostly clear until maybe after midnight. Then you start to see some clouds break out here in southern parts of the state. It's in response to a weak cold front that's going to start to drag some low-level moisture towards the mountains, and it's even possible we could see some patchy low clouds up against the mountains tomorrow morning. So if that happens, don't be surprised. Expect temperatures to fall into the 50s and 60s in eastern Colorado. Still getting 30s and 40s over the mountains and mountain valleys, and this is just an indication of really dry air. It cools efficiently, and if we had the monsoon flow in place and it were thick, we wouldn't get quite that cool over the mountains. So when we start seeing those numbers stay out of the 30s, that'll be a good sign for our rain chances. I did mention that front bringing some low-level moisture in again tomorrow morning. Maybe some patchy low clouds, a little gray in spots, otherwise partly cloudy. And that'll be true through about lunchtime when the first showers will start to develop initially near the Colorado-New Mexico state line. These showers are going to be firing on the northern extent of the monsoon moisture, which really hasn't overspread much of southeastern Colorado, but our southernmost areas might catch some of that tomorrow. High temperatures are not going to be as hot as today. No triple-digit heat expected, but we'll still have 80s and 90s, so plenty warm, at least here in eastern Colorado. 70s and 80s over the mountains and mountain valleys, and will be breezy at times. Late in the afternoon and towards the evening, enough of that low-level moisture may have heated up to cook up into some isolated showers and storms. And FUTURECAST at 6 o'clock does show some popcorn variety storms breaking out across the state. But I want to caution you, look how far and few of these are between. So they're not going to be very numerous, and so I'm not promising a lot of rain. But there will be some isolated showers out there, probably stronger on the far eastern plains. If you happen to get one overhead, then great, you finally pick up some rainfall. And that looks to kind of be the case here for the next few days. Now, our rain chances might come up a little bit into the 30% coverage range, but 30% means a lot of you don't get it. So you have to get lucky enough to get the cells overhead. What we have this weekend is going to fire on that low-level moisture, and then latter half of next week, it looks like the monsoon flow will finally start to get reestablished over the area, so maybe a little bit more cloud cover. For most of you, what it means is just not as hot as we've been recently. While we could get close to 90 or maybe break into the 90s Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't think we'll be in the mid-90s around Colorado Springs. Nighttime lows in the 50s to around 60. Woodland Park will probably have a mixture of 70s and 80s the next several days with 50s at night. I do think most days towards the latter half of the week, when that monsoon flow gets better established, you'll have a slightly better coverage of showers and thunderstorms than we will at lower elevations, and maybe even some brief downpours if you get the right cells overhead. In the short term, these are going to be pretty spotty, and I'm not sure how much rain we should expect this weekend, but some chance is better than no chance. Pueblo, we're not going to put triple-digit heat up here for you, so if you're looking for some good news, there's a little bit. Low to mid-90s for much of the week. Nighttime lows mainly in the 60s, and again, chances for storms are pretty low, but not non-existent. Canyon City, 80s to lower 90s should do it for highs. Nighttime lows in the 60s each and every day, anywhere from a 10 to 30% coverage on those showers and storms. Again, you get one overhead, sure, it could rain on you pretty well. You just have to get fortunate enough to get one overhead. Bart and Heather, back to you.